Camera set. Marker. And action.
So we're going to look at the Kiwifotos lens mount adapter for the Nikon type lens. The lens that I have here is a 35mm f1.8. It's quite an older lens, so it was quite cheap to get off eBay. That is the good advantage to having this type of adapter, because the NEX cameras are quite new and the lenses are quite expensive. It does give you some variety. You don't have to go with Nikon, you can go with Canon or any other type of lens mount you want, and then you just choose the lens fitting for the camera. So I have the NEX VG10 and that's what's on one side, with Nikon being on the other. So the packaging itself looks pretty standard, however I do say it looks pretty professional for a standard packaging. It doesn't look brightly tacky. If we open up the box, and inside you have the operation manual, which is about a sheet of paper, basically just telling you how to fasten it on. If you really need to look at this, then you obviously don't know how to put on any lenses at all, because it is pretty self-explanatory. Inside the packaging, other than the paper, you have a plastic bag with the mount in, and that is literally it. So as you can see on the mount itself, it has an on-off, that's for the aperture ring. One thing that you need to look for if you are buying one of these is if it has a aperture ring on there, because if it doesn't, then you can't control the aperture manually. If you're doing a crossover from, say, Canon to Sony, then Sony cameras won't be able to utilize the aperture on that lens itself. So if we just fasten it on here, it literally works exactly how you would fasten it to the body of a camera. You look for the dot. I'll just show you the aperture there. So you can see the aperture itself and how it moves just with that pin. So the pin on the adapter itself is then going to line up, so you can then do it manually from the outside of the lens. So you just, the red dot on the inside with the white dot on the side of the lens. Each lens is different and has different ways. You turn it till it clicks. This button here you push to then take it off of the mount if you need to, and then you can use the ring on the outside of the adapter to then control your aperture. So this is great. For example, for me it's fantastic now, because the NEX camera that I have works brilliantly in low light situations. It is obviously fully manual, so the focus ring has to be pulled to pull focus, and the aperture ring obviously is there to be used. You just fit, for me I'd fit an NEX cap on the bottom and then the Nikon cap on the top to then store it, and I literally do not take it apart. That is the lens now, and that's how it comes. To fit it to a camera, it works exactly the same as you are fitting any other, for me, NEX type lens. The menu settings have to be changed slightly, so you have to tell the camera that there is no lens attached, so then it doesn't give you any menu prompts on the screen for attaching a lens that the sensors obviously can't pick up. Other than that, it is a little bit top heavy, and that can be counteracted with rigs. And one bad point about this mount adapter itself, it does have a slight rotation on it, so it does turn if you are forceful. With the actual adapter, it won't turn by itself. So here's the camera turned on, just pulling a little bit of focus there on the curtain, and I'll then just move the aperture ring so you can see exactly what's going on. There's the fingers there. So if I turn the aperture ring itself, you've got pitch black, and then if I turn it fully open, you've got some broad daylight going on there as well. So thank you for watching. I hope you found this informative.